something that you've missed out to you. Last week on the show was a special one. It was the 20th coronation anniversary of the Olowo Eko. Olowo Eko simply means the Oba of Lagos. Oba Riwon Osholale Akiolu. That's Akiolu the First, the current Oba of Lagos. It's been 20 years now that he has ascended the throne of his forefathers, and from us here at this station, we can only wish him many more years to come. It's been a peaceful reign in many ways. For those who grew up on Lagos Island, I will understand how the kingship works. They would have a diverse opinion in many ways, but for Oba Riwon Akiolu, the Eleko of Eko, or the Olowo of Eko, as more regardly put, is definitely someone who's as his reign as the king of Lagos has come with his trials, with tribulations, the successes, and has also come with a lot of joy. It's also important to note that on this station, we don't only talk about the traditional Lagosians, we talk about the people who have also found a home in Lagos. And today on the show, I think in the last 1 month or thereabouts, not last 1 month, for a while now, we've run through a series whereby we've introduced different people on the show. Like we say, Lagos is a lot of things. We have many would argue, the Benins. Many would argue also, we have the descendants, the returnees, who are also a big part of the Lagos Island and Lagos metropolis. Today on the show, we would have a discussion with people from the Brazilian Descendant Association. 3 weeks ago, if my memory serves me right, we had two wonderful Brazilian Nigerians who discovered their roots are right here in Lagos with the Pinheiro family, took a trip from Brazil to come to Nigeria to look for their roots. It was a beautiful experience, nostalgic in many ways, and I'm sure it's a visit that they would always remember for good. I follow them on Instagram, and I see their posts, their comments about this wonderful experience. They spent at least 2 weeks in Nigeria and detailed every journey that they made. And that's why we're on the radio. For many people who have forgotten their roots, who don't remember that for every man, you come from a source. And if you don't preserve that source, then maybe you just be another man walking on the streets. But that's not what we try to preach here. We want us to understand the culture, the diversity, and why Lagos is a center of excellence that it is. I'll start the show today by playing a song, play something synonymous to the people that I have in the studios. 3 wonderful women who will talk about their history, their culture, and also what they are doing to preserve their heritage. This and many more is what you enjoy in today's edition of the show. I think I've been rambling on without saying my name. Wow. My name is Kunle Daniel, or J Dan as you call it. It is Mainland 98.3 FM. We are the sound of Lagos. So if you're in Lagos traffic at this time because of petrol wahala, everything will be fine once everything will be fine sometime soon. That's what I will preach. Let's play music from the man called, what should I play now? Let me play Sunday Nightingale and his Higher Life Boys. The song is titled Omo Lafiaji. Well, Brazilians are Lafiaji people also. So let's play music, come back, and I will introduce my guest to you on today's edition of the show. name is Tunde Nightingale. The song is titled Omo Lafiaji, amazing song. A song to celebrate the people from Lafiaji. So if you're familiar with Lagos Island itself and the Brazilian, we know that there's my family. She's also, she was here with the Pinheiros. She's currently the financial treasurer of the BDA. And there is barrister Mrs. Aramide Keshiro. Morning. Good to have you on the radio.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. It's nice to have Miss Salvador back on the radio. Miss Reese, Sis. Oh, I should use Miss. Okay, Miss Reese, thank you very much. And Miss Salvador, thank you very much. So let's start. Let's talk about culture. Let's talk about the people of the Brazilian descendant itself. I have for the first time 3 women who are from this great heritage. Let's try and do let's do a rewind. Let's talk about each of us heritage. So for Miss Reese, who is the family? Who are the Reese family?
I'm from my parents are from the Reese family, Dos Reese.
Dos Reese.
Dos Reese. We are 3 families on that name anyway. My father is the second born. We have a senior which who I think is a late person now. My father is second. Then the next one is a retired, it's also late, retired Commander Reese. Most of them are in the forces. Okay,
so the Reese are, that's the family, Dos Reese. I call Brazilian. This is the first time actually hearing the Reese. So I don't think, so if it was a Pedro, if
normally
it was a...
we are Balthazar Dos Reese.
Balthazar Dos Reese. Wow, great. I have Mrs. Keshiro in the studio. Miss Keshiro, what's your line of heritage?
My line of heritage is Pacheco Pedro.
So that's the great Pacheco Pedro?
Yes, Pacheco Pedro family. We are descendants of Brazil. Pacheco was in Brazil for years, and when they came back, they settled at Kpokpo-Aguda. All of them settled at Kpokpo-Aguda before they started migrating. Pacheco Pedro now migrated. He has some houses in Kpokpo-Aguda and migrated to Kpokpo-Agogo.
Kpokpo-Agogo?
No, he now migrated to Oku-Awo.
Oku-Awo, okay.
Those days, the Dosunmu, Oba Dosunmu of blessed memory, was eating with a kind of a plate, and Pacheco Pedro came and said, "This is what I from Brazil," and he was the one making the plate for Oba Dosunmu to eat that time. And that Oku-Awo was like his workshop. If you look at from Isale Agbede towards Isale Eko, all belong to Pacheco Pedro. You will see that there is an area where they sell cosmetics, cream, pants at Horo Pedro. Belongs to Pacheco Pedro. Where they put the road now that leads to Adeniji Adele is part of Pedro Pacheco land. He now also migrated from Oku-Awo to Iwaya, where he was given a grant. Dosunmu then gave him a grant. That was in 1861. And he was given that parcel of land, hectares of land in Iwaya. Oba Dosunmu then was saying that these people have gone and they came with wealth. They were merchandites. Pacheco Pedro, Darosha, they were all friends. They came with a lot of money and they have lots of property in Lagos Island. Even Bariga. You hear Pedro in Bariga.
Yes.
You hear,
yes. Pedro bus stop in Bariga, yeah.
Yes. The land, hectares of land. That is who Pacheco Pedro was there.
Okay, we have one more guest. We have Miss Salvador in the studio, but we'll take the news headline in a bit, and we'll come back and do much more on the show. It is Mina 98.3 FM. We are the sound of Lagos, and yes, it is Lagos through the ages.
When the airwaves in your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. Broken Air is here.
On Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good morning, headline news on Mainland FM. My name is Sage Babalola. Federal government NLC meeting over fuel subsidy ends in deadlock. LASMA warns station managers and motorists against gridlock in fuel queues. President Tinubu's chief of staff finally emerges. Tinubu, APC, INEC oppose the admission of Atiku's document in evidence. Comptroller General Adepoju says Nigeria Immigration Service will focus more on passport issuance and staff welfare. WHO claims tobacco kills millions of people globally every year. Foreign scene, 3 die in overnight missile attack on Kiev. French President Macron urges tangible NATO security guarantees for Kiev. In sport, Nigeria beats Argentina 2-0, reach quarterfinals in Under-20 World Cup. That is the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at noon.
When the airwaves in your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. It's here.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Lagos, the center of excellence, bounded by the state of Ogun to the north and east, by the Bight of Benin to the south. Lagos, from pre-colonial to post-colonial era, has always projected its beautiful tradition, culture, people, and heritage. From Isale Eko to Ekpe, Badagry, Ebute Meta to Ikorodu, the Lagoon State comes with stories that would always delight your mind. Join us every Thursday from 11:15 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM as we take a cursory look at the beautiful history, heritage, people, and places in Lagos. Lagos through the ages.
You're still on Mainland 98.3 FM. Lagos through the ages is on the radio. My name is Jay Dan. It's a wonderful Thursday morning. It's exactly 11:33 by my time, and I have 3 guests in the studio from the Brazilian Descendants Association. And there's Miss Keji Riz, there's Miss Lola de Salvador, and there is Barrister Aramide Keshiro. It's a Mrs. actually. She's a barrister at law, and that's what my uncle says. That it's a Mrs. and a barrister at law, and they are from the Brazilian Descendants Association. Mrs. Keshiro here is from the Pacheco Pedro family. Miss Reese is from the Dos Reese family, and Miss Salvador, where is your family tree from?
Wow. Good afternoon. And
good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
And thank you for having us on the show today.
Thank you very much.
It seems like BDA Lagos is now getting to be one of the family at the Mainland Radio. My name is Taiwo Ololade Salvador. I am Financial Secretary for the BDA Lagos, which is Brazilian Descendants Lagos State. Lagos, Nigeria. We are the community called Popaguda. We are the beautifier of Lagos. We are the builder of all the beautiful architecture that you see in Lagos. Our family, our descendants, our ancestors built that. My family in Lagos Island is well known, the Salvador. Anywhere you go, from CMS to the end of going to Equatado area, you will know the Salvador. My great-great-grandfather has about 30 houses over there, many wives, many great-great-grandchildren. So Salvadors in Lagos Island are like, in Popaguda are like number one name that you will remember. And when they are coming from Brazil also, it's like number 3 on the list. They came with money. They came with skills. They came with everything. And they came to a land, unknown land, to them. And they build it. And they make it what you see today as Pokwaguda. They came with friends. They work together. They are community builders. And it is why we are here today. And many days I will be coming on FM radio about the history of Pokwaguda. Things that needs to be known.
Yeah, okay. So let's even have a conversation. I know many people do not have an idea of where they are from. They don't have the consciousness of where they are from. For you ladies, whilst growing, how conscious of your heritage were you? Did you at any time partake in any of the historical or the cultural activities that used to happen at that time? I can start with Miss Reese.
Actually, as at the time when the whole thing was happening, I was so young. And we don't live in the island.
Oh, okay.
We moved out to the mainland.
Early.
Yeah. So mostly, I think I participated only once to watch the Mayboy.
Oh, okay.
And that was the last time I think I've seen something like that. But I still have the
memory,
how it was, and
culture of music.
Okay, how about you, Mrs. Keshiro?
Yes, when I was young, I noticed something that my father used to like the Geledes. I don't know why. And you know, the Geledes are regarded then as DFS. You know, DFS. Because they make you laugh, they make you dance, and they dance around you, they give you money. And as a child, I always loved to see them because of that band they put at the back of the buttocks that they will shake here and there. So I always like them when they jump match their leg on the floor and that thing will shake. So that's what I enjoy seeing in them. But later on, I now grew to know that was Pacheco Pedro's heritage. His own kind of heritage that he cherished. And that was why my father and the family then love anytime they see the Gelede, they must give them money. They will ask them to come and dance, and we will also watch them dancing and make fun.
How about you, Miss Salvador?
I grew up in mainland, Surulere, but every weekend or after Jimo that you were going to Lagos Island. Omo, Jackma. Faji. From CMS, sometimes we'll walk all the way to Costain and then take a bus over there and then go to Akwagon area and start walking, just making troubles, for me. And while you're going, people are giving you something, people knows you, people knows that, and they singing for you, especially me, I'm twins, they will sing for us and things like, and they will even pay us. So for me, it's a business. So going to Lagos Island, I know I'm going to make money, I'm going to get something, and when you get there, this grandma is giving you this grandma is giving you that. Me, I just want to collect the money. So coming to Lagos Island, to our community, is beautiful. The people are friendly. Nobody is fearing of anybody, or nobody is shaking of. Everybody is laid back. It makes you wonder. So I grew up in that area. I grew up with that heritage and all that stuff. So when I moved away, it was something that I missed. When I was in America, it was something that I really want to be part of. Fancy to us. Ile odun wa niyen. And Ile odun bo mi.
Fancy,
so,
yes, that's true.
Fancy.
I always look forward to Fancy Christmas. Fancy is Christmas, Easter, and the New Year.
Yeah.
Is this still functional?
Yeah. It's still functional.
I don't think.
So when you come to Lagos Island, when I say tourists, people that come from different places, and when they come, they feel relaxed. Then you want to belong. You want to carry one of our names. And that is how warm and friendly that community was. And it's something that is already embedded in our brain. I transfer that to my children.
Okay. Now let's talk about transferring to our children.
Yeah.
Some families are near extinction. So everyone would say, even in Yoruba, regular Yoruba conversations, you have money like Darusha. Sholobi Darusha. We all know that the Darusha himself used to be very, very rich. I think according to oral history, is said regarded to have been the richest man in Lagos at that time, and it is also credited that most of the Unicorn area, that the Unicorn into campus and Tokumbo axis were built by
CMS Bookshop.
Were built by Daruchas. But in today's Nigeria, I really struggle to hear anyone say that I'm a Darucha. Maybe they're around and I've not been able to see them. There are other names that have also gone into extinction, because of intermarriage and the fact that sometimes the offsprings do not transit from point A to point B. As currently as you are, who are quite conscious of where you are from, how do you try to keep this tradition, this heritage alive with your own offsprings?
Well, we like the BDA coming together now. We have some of our children who are part of us. When we are having any functions, they are there watching. Like the last festival we did in November, most of us and our children are there with our attires and all the heritage, different festival from different homes, from Salvador, from Pedro, from Martins. We all came out with our heritage and they came to watch. And this is something we pray and we hope to sustain and do yearly.
Great. I quite agree.
That is a program that is being approved by the the Ministry of Tourism.
Okay.
Mr. Lai Mohammed.
That's the outgone minister.
Yes, and the outgone minister. This festival is going to be held yearly now. It's a national festival that's given to Kokwagoda community. And it's going to be held every November, whereby 101,000 names that are still here, and if some are not here, we'll showcase them also. We'll carry a banner for all the names. So it's something that if somebody wants to come home, that they can look for and say, okay, I'm going to be part of this. It's a national event for the Brazilian descendants.
Okay, so that means that at the Brazilian Descendants Association, there's already a plan that would outlive you.
Yes.
So let's even talk about, I did mention families that we struggle to hear their names today.
Yes.
But I also know that I'm quite younger, very much younger, but I'm with a deep sense of history, and I know that my grandfather's house, for example, or the house I seem to know as my grandfather's house is somewhere in Bamboshe Street. It's a high rise today. But it's a high rise. No developer, like they call it on Lagos side, and there's a certain style of buildings that, because of the space, if I'm correct, the returnees, the descendants at that time, have their houses close to each other. So you could always, from my dad's friend used to be Savage. From Savage to this, it's just like the same building. They have this townhouse style of houses. In those houses, there's this certain architecture that you cannot miss. But going to Bamboshe, for example, today, I think that's the area I'm most familiar with. Some of those apartments are not there. How then do we find a way to keep these structures alive? I know that they are still very much kept, but all of these apartments, is there a way we can find a way to 400?
This side, how can we or the government can intervene?
When you look at those houses being sold, some of them is not as if they are really hungry. It's not as if they needed money. But because there is no love, there is no trust between them. And they believe that if we eventually leave this in the hands of this man, how will our own children benefit from it? Our children don't know each other. We don't talk. We are not we are not friendly. So as a result, let's sell it so that we can have our share and do whatever we want to do with it. But you see, if we are starting love with BDA, all of us coming together, we are one family. And we want to tell ourselves that no more selling of our heritage. Let us, whatever you want to get from it, it is better to lease out so that it revert back to you than selling it outrightly. If you sell outrightly, there's nowhere you can lay claims on it. But if you give it on lease, okay, you want to have something in Lagos, okay, we can lease our property to you for about 40 years, 50 years. After 40 years, it comes back to the family. And the children unborn will continue to see that property rather than selling it outrightly. And we still hope that we appeal to the Lagos State government to pass a law on those property that are of heritage, especially the Brazilian one, because Brazilian heritage properties are unique in the sense that these people were taken from here and they went there to Brazil to suffer, and they came back with lots of money, and they now they have a lot of buildings, properties all over Lagos State. And if the dead can wake up and look back, they will cry, seeing their sweats being wasted into other people's hand. So we are using this medium to appeal to the descendants, not only Brazilian, even the those from Portuguese, those from Sierra Leone, all the heritage, Cuba. Let us preserve them.
Ms. Kejuris mentioned something earlier, so I think we were having a conversation before we came on radio, and you talked about the fact that you know what your grandfather's house looks like, and sometimes you were on the island, and you had to point out to somebody, grandson, that this is
my grandfather's house has gone to skyscraper.
And it wasn't skyscraper.
It wasn't too. It wasn't too.
But it's sad. It's sad. It's pretty sad. I understand. I understand.
If I can pitch in also, that is why what we need to start doing as a parent. Our youth now, our children now, some of us are breaking bars, breaking everything just to make it and put a structure, put something down. But we fail to plan for the future. We fail to let them know, if you are going to sell right. If you are going to keep it right. Let's have a uniform relationship with our siblings, with our parents, with our this and that. So where there is love, like Honorable our lawyer said, if there is love, then all things will be possible.
Yeah.
But it's because there's so many division among all the Aguda, all the even
amongst the families.
Yes.
If we have a unity, we have friendship. You can look at me in my face and tell me what is going on, and I can take it, and I can absorb it and say, okay, I'm sorry. If we can start having a relationship like that, things will be easier. Selling of our property and stuff like that would not be something that's coming from the hunger part of us.
Just okay, yeah,
and government has to intervene. If it's going to be a landmark area, let it be. The Director House is still there. What is going to become of it? There should be something that that will preserve that place.
A litigation, maybe. No. Okay, no litigation.
No.
Like a certain law that will preserve
a landmark law.
A landmark law, yeah.
You know that this property, even if you're going to amend within, but the structure in the front structure should be. That is what they are doing in Brazil. You cannot destroy a property like that. It's either you leave the front part and they can start building from inside. They've passed that law in Brazil.
It's almost the same as Cuba. When you go
Cuba,
to Cuba,
you cannot destroy anything.
Like,
no, you cannot. Even they still have 1999, 1971 car, 1909 car.
In
Cuba,
still there. Yes. So let's when you were on the show with the Pierres a while ago, you talked about the fact that on your own end as an association and as a Brazilian descendant, because it's just you coming together. It's not money oriented. It's just about keeping your heritage.
Yes.
That you were teaching the kids the language,
the Portuguese language, yes.
That there were regular works,
yes.
health workshop for a lot of people who cannot afford to. And I think also there's something like that coming soon, I guess.
Thank you for that question. That's what brought us here again. The affair of our women in the community is very paramount to BDA. And also the affair of all the totality of Akpokpo Aguda is very paramount to BDA. From that, the woman of that unit now says, let's have one thing that we can do for the community, which is on health. It could be on blood pressure, it could be this, it could be that, but their health should be our affair. We should be able to put some quotas into that. The minimum that we can put, you and I can do, the other one doing it, the community will come back. Our health is not at the place that we want it today. So that's why our women unit director, Ms. Rees, put up a program together that we all can do. And with the president in agreement with us and the ESCO, we are doing the program on Sunday, which is health awareness. Yes. And we are going to talk about 3 different areas: blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes. Over to you.
Yeah. We picked that particular topic because we look at it as it's the most thing that is so rampant. So many people with BP issues, and it's related to the problems in the country. We have to talk to them how to take care of themselves, what to take, what to eat. Their life is very important. Minus that diabetics is another one, which is killing. Most of us didn't know that. It's the food that we eat. It's not a drug that can cure it for you. It's food. Most of our food are carbohydrates, but we need to balance it. It's not until you have a mountain of eba or amala in the front of you before you can be okay. It's just a portion. We need to teach them. We need to talk to them, educate them on their life. Getting fat is not the best. Check your cholesterol. Check what you drink, what you put on your table. Health is very important.
Yeah, that's great. So there's a walk on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not
It's
a
not a
walk.
walk. So it's just at the pavilion. Where is it going to take place?
Just a talk.
Talk.
Educating.
Okay.
There will be a talk whereby it's in Holy Cross primary schools.
Oh, okay.
In the schools, we are going to talk about the awareness, what you need to know about making sure if you have it, how you can manage it. If you haven't get into the border of cholesterol, high cholesterol, blood pressure, and all that stuff, what can you do
to prevent it?
Eating right, sleeping right, things like that you can do. We are not prescribing medication on anything, but we just want to set the pace for the awareness in that community now, and how you and we can save our lives.
That's great. I think that's very great.
You see, these days you see somebody in the evening, you chatted with somebody. By morning they will tell you the person
I'm on
is
BP
gone.
drugs, so I know.
So that is all those put together that we now look at this our environment and say, well, how can we help this community? Because if people had just eaten anything junks and they don't know the effects of what they are eating, they will be surprised that they will only be spending money on drug, whereas they might not even need drugs if they know the balanced diets and the right diets they should take.
Okay, that's
we
great.
should have had one of our own too, Dr. Jagede. She was supposed to be here, but she has a call. She's on call today. To speak more on health.
Maybe we would have her on our health show one of these days. Maybe we would have her on our health show one of these. We have the show on Friday where she can always speak about health issues.
We want to ask all the community and those that are not in the community to join us on Sunday at the Holy Cross Primary School ground from 2 to 4, but we're setting up by 12. But it's because we're having our own meeting on that day. But people can come in and be around for us, and then people will be there to attend to them. So it's going to be from that time. If you have cholesterol, blood pressure, or even if you just want to see our face and talk to somebody, join us.
Okay, great.
Bring your children.
Yes, so that's, and not necessarily Brazilian. I think we would.
It's for the community.
So as we have limitations with our time, and we have to go. But I would want to put you to task, man. Okay.
I want to throw a song.
Okay.
For the Pacheco.
Yes, sir.
Which says, Pedro loloko awo ẹ má jiyàn mọ́.
Okay, great. I think we would have you to talk about the Pacheco family sometime soon. I think off the radio we had a lot of conversation in respect to how the government itself can help the Brazilian community, about how you can also repatriation funds.
Yes.
I know that the late M. Abiola at the time, the Badavi was his standpoint.
Yes.
Went to America to ask, and the United Kingdom, that some of these leaves at that time had fees that were supposed to have reparation fees, right? The repatriation fees that should have been paid to them, which it has gotten lost in the times stand of times because of lackadaisical attitude, the fact that we don't keep records and a lot of stuff. I think there's still so much that we would engage ourselves on, and it's also very good that I may be part of the community, and every time I need you, you're always available for us. Thank you very much, ma'am. So if you're on the Lagos Island, it's always very important that you should check your health, right?
Yes.
The Holy Cross is also a very big landmark,
It's a landmark.
in the Brazilian community.
Yes.
The Holy Cross, the CMS school, CMS bookshop. What's the name of that big church?
Cathedral.
The Holy Cross Cathedral.
Yes.
That's one of the most beautiful structures in Lagos. I think everyone knows the
But
Holy
we have
Cross
also the Catholic Mission Church.
the CMS.
That is
that's
mostly for the Brazilian
Catholic
church.
Mission Church
Yes.
is on Tukumbo Street.
Catholic Mission Road.
Yes, I know
Catholic
that.
Mission.
Catholic Mission Road. Yes, I know that. Okay, thank you very much, man. So I have Miss Keji Riss, coordinator BDA. Thank you very much. Lola De Taiwo Salvador. Thank you very much. And barrister at law, Mrs. Aramide Keshiro from the Pedro Pacheco family. Thank you.
Thank you for having
much.
us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. We have to go. What should I play? Should I play? Can I play? I should just play Omolafia J again, right?
Yes.
Or let's play.
Eko Akete,
Yes, that's
Ilu
good.
Ogbon.
Fatai Rolling Dollar, Eko Akete, Agidigbo Blues. Have a fantastic rest of the day.
Ani mo jẹ́ kékeré mo bùrẹ̀ gbó gbá ó gbá ó gbá.